difficulty setting. They didn't even give you a difficulty setting on most. I think nowadays they sort of like give a rift to characters, how like one character doesn't like each other and they go forth and like talk shit to each other. Like in the beginning, that I think what's her name, that bird song, the girl from Zach and Cody's.
Sure they're not about the teddy bear clinic and your plans because I could have sent them along with you. I drop these off. They need some help. You can get a portrait of your pet this weekend. Barclay's hosting Paint Your Pet. Tickets are $50, and you can get a pre-sketched portrait ready to paint. One free ticket, paint supplies, and free admission for your pooch. It's tonight from 6 until 9.
Oh, wait, you have to pay for your dog to go in there?
I guess
It's like $10.
I've never done it before.
It's not bad. It's like $10.
Oh, for your dog?
To just get in Barcade.
Oh, for both of you.
It's $10 for the dog.
Well, then do you have to pay usually?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Sorry, clearly we've never been.
Yeah.
Okay, we
It's
need
a
to fix
great
that.
spot.
We need to fix that. Well, there was something going on tonight, but you know what? Just enjoy your weekend. It's gonna be nice weather, and yeah.
You just can't go wrong this weekend, whether you're gonna hike up on the trail, hit the links, or maybe check out the Phil Collins and Genesis Mega Jam.
Can you imagine how fun that would be for these classically trained musicians to just jam out?
Whisking out.
Kansas City demands an accurate forecast.
And we get it right more than anyone.
I had to note that like not everybody's your friend and going forth and like reviewing a game for one time play of most of those sort of real games or whatever the heck the Namco published or gave money to the publisher to be able to have Ashley Tisdale, and then the guy from the X-Men, he was the Iceman who played Robbie, I think the Iceman on the X-Men, Quantum Theory or whatever the fuck on that Alan Wake, where he's a police officer in the game, but he time travels and shifts through their time, like how those games have elements of stuff that they can't like progress any further than the graphics presented, or it would be different from like Uncharted was really how to describe how graphics looked like movie stars or whatever the fuck, how they portrayed those people to look like how you see Lifetime movies on one video game series on a PlayStation. Now a majority of the stuff is like shell shaded, like cartoon violence, like it's like Looney Tunes, like how majority of those games like on the N64 or Nintendo have graphics that are not as like sturdy, like they have cartoon like anime, like Sailor Moon type of stuff where they transform into Superman or whatever the fuck and start floating through rings and counting the coins or whatever the fuck currencies, and those like Crash Bandicoot games where they collect fruits and coins and all sorts of shit in those games. But the Chlorine has like realistic graphics in terms of stuff you see the stuff in one setting and going forth, and it's just in one camp setting. That originally I played a demo of it, I had downloaded it on a list, so I was like, well, if I download it on a list and it's brand new for your account and going forth and using your email, that's why when I yelled, I have my email address as the holder of that, the Jonathan11 at yahoo.com or whatever the fuck. I fused my first and middle name and put Ortega at the end, and going forth and playing that and going forth, not really like having any pressure, like slowly playing through it because I don't want to rush through. I rushed through some of that stuff back then, like I think Cyberpunk 77, I played through it, I rushed through it, and I didn't really get to enjoy the set pieces as much because I was rushing through it because I was trying to get through the fastest part, and it was the hardest to get through the ending when you have to kill the robot sentient human being that has rockets and cybernetics that are beyond any of those characters that you see in those games are really need to get through. I let my hair grow out. That I have hair that I had let it grow out. I go forth and say a bunch of shit outside of this, and I go forth and I don't get paid enough to get fucking told a bunch of crazy shit. And going forth and being really rude to a person. Even if I just sit home most of the time, it's just good to have somebody there at home at your house. If during the day you have to sit there and get ridiculed by people because my parents have to work 9 to 5. I know I'm a grown-ass man now, but going forth, I give my money to my parents because they're the only ones that care about me. They're the only ones that do stuff for me. And I know that, like, having been told that you're a grown-ass man, but as grown-ass men, they live with their moms next door and across the street. They all have their parents. They check on them and shit, going forth and give them money and do shit for them. But going forth and really telling you a bunch of crazy shit isn't fucking how I get your attention. And going forth and they want whatever the fuck they can have. No reason to do that shit if it wasn't nobody else. It's business. And going forth and being really crazy with you, at least I'm still clean. Like, I don't, like, I pick up after myself. I mean, I don't know if, like, I know most YouTubers seem nice enough and considerate with other people, knowing that they have, like, if you go to a concert, originally went to a concert, and I know that concerts come and go, like, you can go forth and see people for $100 and then never see them again, and they're not gonna say that you can be incorporated with somebody. If you collab with somebody, you have to pay them with either, like, currency or pay them in, like, food, like, make some kind of, like, dish, casserole or dish or something and say, hey, I can feed you or whatever the fuck, or like say that and go forth, and they might think you're crazy at first. There's people out there that'll say they want to collab, but the way they went about it, they should have put it underneath the box, underneath the comment box, saying that, hey, because that's more trustworthy to have somebody say that than just appear at your doorstep and wanting to collab with you isn't the way to go about it. I even know that because going forth, I'm not doing that to other people that have more numbers than I do have in terms of having like 60,000 views on this. I'm mad sad that that lady died, but you shouldn't have went to that gathering if you know that people will be there. Like the Royals gathering in 2015 took 4 hours to go past a highway to leading the Union Station off one of those things. Going forth and knowing that we were supposed to move, but our car got stalled midway through looking at a house, and we're gonna do that again until we move, until we find a place that we can go forth. And I'm not gonna post this for safety reasons. I'm not gonna post the new residence or probably just play game footage if I have that attached to the. If I have that attached to the PlayStation, then I'll still stream, but I'm not gonna like show like demonstrate each room, or every time I live stream, I always live stream just the room that I was in and not the whole entire house or whatever the fuck like I'm doing now. Going forth from being like how they be belligerent with the information, they say the opposite of whatever the fuck occurs. I seen that Harrison and like how I can count the increments of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, like how I can count to increments of 5, but nobody watches my shit like how they watch theirs. A million people would watch theirs because they have a attractive person talking to the camera instead of someone who is just a dude that has time on his hand, too much time actually, going for trying to find something to do. I guess like as I have money, but I'm not gonna spend money on things that people will bash you on and tell you a bunch of shit. I'd rather spend it on my teeth and try to save my teeth from failing or my health from failing by explaining that I played the curring and I was halfway through. But like games like casual like type, like you can go forth and just sit there and then barely push a button and get there. Like, it's not that much dot and deep. Like how I played more and was more harder than that going forth, and like finding the ghosts and spirits and finding the ghostly people to talk to and get through a mission and going forth and finding 3 things to be able to
Today, the owners are making another request to the city.
be able to say I don't have brown hair.
Too much money.
And I have brown hair trying to take my identity, like I tried to state with the earlier. I have to sit there. I don't have a dog. Or the animals that we had were cats back in 2019, like 5 years ago. They passed away in 2020 or 2021 at the apartment building for having them in rough conditions. The cat just died of natural causes, and we didn't take any other animals in because you get attached to the damn animal. And I never harmed any animals. Like I eating food could consider like salads and shit as well. Like I know I eat cheeseburgers, but all that stuff's already fucking pre-made and like processed in a lab or something where I condone like having people say, oh, you're just as bad as the people that slaughtered that. Well, they're going for the restaurant that my grandpa had was a tortilla factory, and a lot of the stuff was produce, was already bought pre-made, and it wasn't slaughterhouse. So going forth and having a restaurant with a tortilla factory still being there, it was a factory with tortillas being made of masa, like masa bowls, like roll-up dough, like freshly made Mexican tortillas. So I know that explaining that on Twitter back then is different from having people that are vegetarian tell you that you're a bad person and you're going to go to hell and all that. And that Aldi from the horror scene, or how you say that, was vegetarian, but I didn't realize that because she appeared thin anyway. And I thought I seen skinny people eat, like Karen Eats, that lady that had came to Kansas City. She travels, and she was more thinner than both me and that Harrison lady was kind of buff. So going forth, when you exercise, I know I exercise, but I don't put as much effort into exercising as, say, like if I was, like I had a gym on a treadmill. I have like a elliptical thing where I can get on. And I used to have a treadmill back in the day, but a treadmill was the key that we had. Something happened to the key that we had for the treadmill, and the treadmill wouldn't turn on without a pad thing attached to it. And I could have had a treadmill that worked. Somebody had walked past and said, oh, I'll give you elliptical for your console, but is that really trustworthy to go about like having somebody at random say they'll give you one of those like nicely elliptical treadmill things for I guess your profile? And back then I had the profile on, so I didn't want my identity to be stolen if I'm never going to give the phone device away, despite everything that had been told about how I have the phone device has a high score and I have video games on it. I play the cell phone long ass. I play the cell phone on the video game on the cell phone more than I did the console anyway, and going forth and have my email attachment to all that shit going forth and merging an email address between Nintendo and PlayStation and iPhone account going forth. And I don't want to keep having to go bathroom at night. Somebody had said on YouTube I would go out with him, but he fucking pees a bunch at night. I don't know how we have cameras set up, because I remember watching something about that. Every time they talk about someone, they seem unspecific about the person, but it seemed like since I had a YouTube channel on since 2015 back then, and I had created this one out of spite of having been kicked off a channel that I had set up originally and had gotten hacked off having like 1 million views on one video or 500,000 views or whatever, fuck, it froze. I still have the video proof on here. I can demonstrate that it happened. Being diabetic sucks. You have to just keep drinking water. I know that I played video games on here as a pastime. Just going forth, wasn't really saying I was a professional game player. I didn't even state that going forth from how people will bash you and tell you a bunch of shit. At least I know how to like go to the Wi-Fi setup and change all the like professional devices to friends list and having it privated on a friends list and like privated the PlayStation account. Now I'm just at random, like everything. Like I have the app on and going forth and knowing that they can't change any of the information if I disable the phone device or if I switch the phone device and change the number. I'm liable just to change the number and take the two-way verification off and wait until they're having the two-way verification set back on after I change the number, because you get people that write back to you if you write something originally and having them like not like disk you, but like knowing that if you didn't write anything bad to you, but knowing that if you go outside of this and have people say, oh, because you said that online, they can go, and if you go out in public and record somebody, I'm not recording everybody in public. Like I know how I didn't record exercise, like when I used to exercise on Twitter, like I didn't have everybody in the background with me, and I know that I didn't record to the restaurant having it open up. You record in restaurants as long as you're not making fun of them or saying anything bad about them. Then you can go forth and record in a restaurant. If you paid money to eat at a restaurant, people take photographs, and sometimes the photographs are accidentally set on live settings to be able to take maybe like a 1 second video of the food item. And people accidentally do that with noise and sound and shit going forth and be punished with it. And people in the background, oh, I know the laws around here. I think you can probably be punished by the law by having somebody in the background. They can't go forth and do that if they're doing wrong themselves and telling you, oh, I can call such and such and have them go to your house and take all your shit, like David King or whatever the fuck in that Phil Hamar or whatever the fuck. Not Phil Mara, but Evan's cousin is locked up, but I'm not Phil Mara, but the AI has somebody named Phil or whatever the fuck. But going forth and saying, like, if you have a loan that you can pay on a house to get another house, it ain't go forth and do that before something does occur where you're stuck at a house where people don't like you, surrounding area, going forth and being able to play a video game, certainly well be able to get a high score on a mobile device is different from just sitting there and sort of like saying, oh, this is how you accumulate software on your console and jailbreak a PS3, and then the battery goes out and you can't use any of that shit because you fucking diagnosed your PlayStation by doing creepy shit to it and going forth and really designed that way to be able to fucking make a console play any game that didn't design be able to play on there. Like say if you have a GameCube game, you could play it on the Xbox Series X, or they had all that shit on there, like software that you can download if you had one of those accounts that you have to have emailed to you and have a basically how the PlayStation has the same thing. All those consoles can do that, but they're doing that is going forth and really breaking law themselves instead of sitting at a restaurant paying for the food item and going forth and like designated to eat a food item. You're going forward, you're not supposed to take an item out of the food place and take a photograph or a video of it happening, or they don't believe you, or they fucking tell you that you can get jailed up for taking video of somebody else and it wasn't even like 45 seconds of something and the food item was shown instead of the fucking person talking about what I explained. So they act all smart acting and shit going forth, and that's why you never see them out and about, and they always at their house. They want to record other people because they can get in trouble for that themselves if they hadn't done it themselves. But I know they have done it because I've been to Draftcade and other people were pointing cameras at the waitresses' asses and shit going forth and really telling you what the laws are and what the laws ain't. Going forth and really being creepy with the person is fucking psycho. Sitting there like you get a complex if your parents say to leave the light on in the bathroom instead of turning it off at night. Eventually you'll always leave the light on, and then you want the light on a certain date because in between 4 and 8, you can't leave on electricity items that long on a dryer or washer, and then you fucking turn it off and on at a certain time and have all that shit drummed in your brain, and you only far from having other shit that you have to do during the day. I'm not gonna get prosecuted by the law if I have people that are in the law enforcement courts knowing that there's other laws in place that people go out to eat somewhere. They don't get hard time for buying a food item at a restaurant, sitting there eating it, and take a photograph of it to make sure they didn't tamper with it in ways that it could be considered weird to have everybody and their mother comment on a video. Because the guy could have just been a phony fucking. He could have just had a uniform on. It could have been Halloween. Like, I went to GameStop back in 2008 and bought Resident Evil 5, and I know the employee there wasn't in the Air Force, but he had an Air Force, initially fucking had a uniform on, similar to the one I saw at the restaurant there. So I know those people can be bullshitting with you too, and not everything you fucking have seen with your eyes probably could explain how you can explain yourself out of shit pretty fucking easily. And it wasn't it wasn't on my camera phone, it was on a digital camera. That the digital camera itself doesn't have places and dates or places and locations on the digital camera compared to the camera on your phone. So going forth and acting weird without realizing you just trying to fucking explain that as people somehow say that you're all right. I know who you are because they fucking had to watch footage of fucking Twitter with me on it or something. So technically they weren't a stranger. And going forth from really being creepy with you. I don't go forth and go to a hospital because I record more at the hospital than I did anything else back then. And my ass is still fine. I can still enter a hospital. I can still go out in a hospital because I need to go to that because that's the only down part of the jury fucking thing. It said I had to go to a hospital for an appointment and continue being seen by a doctor or whatever the fuck, and they won't do anything to me. So that's the only catch. So I know that any of this other shit they're trying to tell you is fucking bullshit to them to tell you a bunch of creepy shit on I have ended up deleting the comments and that because I didn't want been bombarded with that shit being a viral video of sitting at a restaurant with a food item and walking out of it and seeing somebody that was in the military supposedly and saying they were cool with us because they saw what I had on Twitter and they understood that it was real. Just like how if this guy had a uniform on, it could have been just a phony uniform, like I said at GameStop play in 2008 on Resident Evil 5. A midnight opening had somebody with one of those jumpers on with the green emblem and shit and having the olive drab military uniform. Like somebody had one of those at GameStop and did the same shit. So it's not really fucking self-explanatory going forth. I know I'm doing this at random, and people that just watch this at random might miss out on things where you sitting at a restaurant. You can film as long as you don't say that I want to see your tits and flash your titties, or going forth and eating the item and throwing it at them. As long as you don't throw the food item at them and record it like a food fight or fucking Girls Gone Wild or whatever the fuck type of shit. As long as you don't do that, then you should be fine under the contents of stuff that you bought a food item at a restaurant. As long as you did that, then you didn't talk shit like they were. I had to fucking realize the reason why they had said that because of the way they lip shit, and I had it on film off not on the camera phone, but a digital camera. I'm not a loser for playing video games if they also play video games. And I don't see them getting anywhere with it other than them just doing that as a hobby. I had the developer actually write to me because I bought the video game brand new on hardware that wasn't hacked. So I'm not thinking that they can't jail up a person if they're speaking the truth. As long as I went to a hospital for an appointment, they can't do anymore. So I went to those appointments and recorded that shit because I'm actually going to physical therapy as well on top of that. So going forth and doing exercises during the day. I'm not outside bothering people. I'm inside a house. I'm not bothering anybody. They're bothering me with this shit saying, oh, this is going to be somebody else's sports house. I can't go forth and do that if it was designated for the person that streamed originally, that had the content originally on the email address that isn't designated to other than the person that's on there. That's why I hate this fucking way that people will fucking act smart alecky towards my ass and say that I'm smart alecky too, but they're just as smart alecky and they will tell you a bunch of creepy shit. I don't fucking tell you what they know and what they don't. What they can't do is can't take somebody's identity off someone's Face ID email address and fucking either delete it off or they don't get, nobody gets anything or fucking have it and change it and try to be creepy with you to the point where the asshole looks nothing. It's like an 80-year-old guy, but at this point in time, can't take my identity. If he's gonna die before my parents die, if he was more like 10 years older than what my parents are. Parents are like still like younger than they are, so. And that guy just sits in his house all fucking day in the slabs. Then all fucking old ass guy. Only for from being crazy with the person isn't how you gonna get someone's device. If they fucking break in and try to take it, then they'll get caught doing that. And I can just delete the, not the app, but delete the login information. They can't log into it and make a video, or if they ever find like a way, an attorney that could take my case besides the one that had to originally take a year from now to explain that this guy was an asshole. And they can't do anything because it takes until 25 and I have to show within 48 hours of the residence that I'm in. Like if I go move someplace else, the courts will know where I'm at, but the asshole can't go forth and request information if I haven't talked to them or I'm not talking to anybody at this time other than trying to explain that they can't go forth and be creepy with the person's information. I'm not gonna be sued by anybody because the fucking attorney fucking had wavered the shit knowing it wasn't right originally. It had been one-sided off two people telling you a bunch of creepy shit with a bunch of people mocking you, fucking telling you a bunch of creepy shit. And they can't do anything but tell you a bunch of creepy shit. You can film it and possibly sue them or they'll get possibly jail sentences too. I just log off of it, never log on it again. Let's be a dormant channel where nobody gets anything and they'll be fucking crazy with the person until they fucking snap. And the reason why I originally had snapped was because of what they were telling me. And they'll tell me over and over again until they sound like retards themselves. I'm not fucking crying over this shit going for being creepy. I'm just gonna move someplace else, and when the time comes, the counters to them if they come out of the woodwork still trying to be creepy with you. You know, forth and be belligerent with your information, act like the opposite happened or whatever the fuck occurred, and you actually didn't do anything towards them, but they're doing shit towards you. This asshole's older than shit. Fucking old ass guy, old man Rivers. They don't fucking do anything because his old ass will croak before my parents. They're also like 10, 20 years older than my parents. Originally were like 34, 35, originally 2004 or 5. And he was already 60 or 50 when the time that was back then, 2004. So now he's like 75 or 80. So what the fuck? They're fucking old ass fucking people threatening me and shit. And they have no lives. They just sit there thinking, oh, he's going to do something to us. Because you fucking talk a bunch of crazy shit and you don't get away with it. They go forth until every day of the week there's something about them. I'm not out there fucking doing anything towards them. He's fucking out there saying a bunch of shit. You want to go out there and fucking tackle them.
Home with the gold. The Chiefs weren't the only ones. Pat, I think this is a tell me something good.
It is indeed. That's just the spirit, Kathy. And we're gonna share your.
I don't know how the fuck they are able to fucking sit down for like 2004 onwards. That guy was more overweight. I know I weigh 170 pounds compared to he weighs like probably like 380 or 400 pounds. And when I was leaning down, originally there wasn't two of us leaning down. And being extremely fucked in the head about how this guy reacts to shit is different from how he wants you to react. He wants you to react to it so they can act like he was the victim, and he's just sitting there trying to antagonize the person to come out to him and go forth and all these people gang up on you and tell you a bunch of shit. It isn't right. I'll sit there and play a video game isn't fucking doing anything towards them. So they leave me the fuck alone if I'm playing a video game. Don't watch it. Leave me the fuck alone. Like, I didn't have to watch any of this stream by stream. They have somebody on there, oh, this guy's mentally ill. I'm not mentally ill if I'm streaming a video game and know that it's February and it's past December and it's been like 3 months now. January, February, and past the time that it'll fucking be fucking March and April soon, then May, and then July, June, August, September. The whole year go by real fast. And going forth and being creepy with you isn't the way about getting someone's information on a device. They can't do that because they're impersonating a person with makeup on and shit, and he looks way older than me going forth. And I never made any sex offender fucking comments on any fucking kids. I know I had that fucking Texas person on there, but I was just demonstrating that anybody can post anything, and there's no consequences to it. People prank call somebody. People can prank call a Metal Gear or Duke Nukem on Vent back then, and they didn't get processed into jail sentences for threatening and mocking somebody with AI fucking generated voices and shit. So if they're not getting any jail sentences, you don't see anybody else other than fucking telling you a bunch of crazy shit. And I have skin patches on my skin of going forth, and to know that it isn't fucking fair to have somebody mock you and tell you a bunch of shit when they didn't have to relearn how to walk and talk and shit going forth. And being creepy with you, telling you, oh, you're like the guy off of Scarface or whatever the fuck is St. Luke's, and I'm not even on marijuana or drugs. I sit there and fucking piss in a cup. I'm still like vigilant towards people that will tell me stuff like that because they see what they portray like a characteristic of a Hispanic person is outgoing, but if they fucking have Hispanic people like act like in names like borderline, like unfair if they go forth and act like everybody's a gangster, everybody does gangster shit,
Good morning, I'm Abby Eden.
and go forth and hear her voice back then, and not knowing why they told you that in the first place.
Exhibit. I've always been fascinated. Anytime
I think go forth. Let them know the fucking goddamn way the outlook of the house looks and that they can't go forth and enter and going forth and being crazy with you. I can make a 1 hour video probably explaining how if you go to a restaurant, never film anybody telling you anything because then 80% at the person that you told, and have eyewitnesses of your parents saying that, oh, this guy thinks you're dumb because you fucking have an eye surgery that you had to have apparently to correct your vision. And they tell you a fucking crazy shit somehow, and the guy shows off people's houses and going forth and at random tells you with all these people that he has on his following and go forth and tell you the rules. Somehow not going to a restaurant. Those restaurants, if you could film inside a restaurant, if you're filming the food item, and then going forth and having a box of food that you paid like $35 to $50 for like 3 meals is more than welcome enough to film a restaurant. I remember going to Olive Garden and like live streaming a video game that I played on there, and didn't live stream in there, but I streamed a video game session. I said they couldn't possibly do any of that shit they're telling you in the background. And going forth and being like belligerent with your information, like, oh, it's going Matt and Ani's gear game house, wherever the fucking tell you a bunch of crazy shit about this creepy boxer that he's never gonna get signed anything. He can't get signed off. Someone's name's Ortega and it isn't Javier, and going forth and being creepy with a person and going forward and posting the receipt to this asshole originally, saying that this guy was fucking insane. And going forth and they're fucking on meth real bad, so those meth heads act hard until one of the meth heads gets shot, and then all the meth heads going up on the person that didn't even do anything to the meth head originally. That's how it goes. Like, I didn't even know where a guy would have been at 4 in the morning. If I was a no good bum, I wouldn't be up at 4 in the morning. I wouldn't even know where the fuck to find a person that was signed at 4 in the morning out of a crowd of 1 million people dancing or whatever the fuck they had. There are a bunch of weirdos telling you that when the car wouldn't match and the fingerprints wouldn't match, and I think they fucking got the right people that did that. If I don't have anything registered under my name that was anything like whatever the fuck they're telling you originally, how one person has to go to extremes and getting blamed by somebody because of the way they fucking think that they just describe the person and how they could be anybody. They can go forth and not be around anybody that was gang related or had 13 on their fucking arm. Like I didn't have the ability to know anybody that was affiliated with the gang back then, 2010. So now forth I didn't have anybody on my friends list other than people that I had in middle school and high school. I had an account made originally in 2010 that had the people that I had on there. Thank God I didn't tag any of them on my, because they would have gotten bothered by those fucking people that really blamed you for. They were like, oh, this guy talked to such and such, but it wasn't like that. I didn't even have the guy's name mentioned. I didn't even mention anybody's name originally, and it was on MySpace that they were calling me a psychopath, and I didn't have anybody's name mentioned on a message board or any of that shit. I just said that they told me shit originally when I was at a grocery store going out of it, and then having to go forth and being at another place. At the time of that guy's death, I was with Evan at a house in Kansas that was near a Target in Mission, Kansas, and I didn't know at that point in time that they had did that until the day after, the weekend, 2 weeks after that. And I was remembering how maybe a million years later, it's like, oh, this guy had the ability to put a hit, and then it wasn't like that. I went forward, didn't even know anybody that could do that shit, know where exactly where a guy would have been at, and then calling on a litter and shit. They know how to work a GPS, but could find somebody that was signed at 4 in the morning to do that shit to a person. I could play all those video games fine, but back then in 2010, there was no device to tell you if these people had cars that had the devices off. It couldn't find a person in a car at 4 in the morning and track them like in the video games how they do in Grand Theft Auto and shit. The car blows up, like if it was extreme measures like that, I don't know where the fuck a guy would have been at 4 in the morning going forth and explaining all that shit, originally having to tell you over and over again. And I went to a movie theater at the Plaza, and there was somebody that worked there that felt bad for me because I had to explain that I didn't murder anybody at 4 in the morning. I wouldn't know anybody that would be able to fucking hop a fence off with a car and go through a cul-de-sac perfectly through it and not ram a vehicle or hit the tail light gets ripped off or the car spins off and goes into a crowd or whatever the fuck. I don't know how the fuck it happened. I just remember seeing the footage back then, and I knew I didn't look like any of those people, and I still have the same clothes that I had back in 2010. So the clothes I have wouldn't match the clothes that the person had on, wouldn't match any of that shit, and I had looked like I look paper thin, so the people that were supposedly were overweight or were thin or whatever the fuck wouldn't match. 4 skinny people with tattoos on their arms, but I don't have tattoos on my arms. So they're just trying to place a blame game on somebody just because they don't like them or the shit that they had commented, like they'd been nameless or whatever the fuck, or how this shit would have gone if the shoe was on the other foot. I wouldn't have rapped any of that creepy shit. It'd been about dying themselves and like seeing something and if like a hospital feed, like doors slamming and closing and windows opening and shutting by themselves, like how Silent Hill for the Room. I originally committed suicide in 2006 and talked about the hangman puzzle. Like all that shit was about somebody that went through extreme measures to find somebody that they once loved. And they made fun of our like families' names, like the Galvin name and not Resident Evil 4, but Silent Hill the Room before, and then Silent Hill, I think the one on the mobile app talked about Hernandez's child's going missing. They went to put fires down. I know it's just a video game, but people really will take this shit literally fucking seriously, and I know it's just a video game. I originally Evan had a PSP with Dave Chappelle on it, and like Family Guy, I think, on or some other shit, and going forth and have these video games that had the developers make fun of our last name, and that weird guy from the movie had Role Models movie with Paul Rudd, and that Marcus kid had a PSP and had African American people had been made fun of by Hideo Kojima. Had them flying in a ravine of kids of African American nationality flying up by a grenade, and if they got discovered, and it would have them get slaughtered in a ravine or something in Africa, and diamonds that belong to people that had this all for video game profit. And they ain't even used the engine for anything good other than mockery, national government, and fucking things that happen in how the Civil War and it had African American people versus white people. And going forth from child labor laws and shit, going forth and having that writing character be a character that went through a civil result of having a kid that became a war offering or whatever the fuck, and had slaughtered a bunch of people like that Gray Fox shit, and having them reenact a video game segment off because they couldn't possibly make anything other than whatever the fuck he was trying to do at that point hadn't been done, or like having a video game mock national intelligence agency saying that this guy knew exactly what was gonna how it was gonna happen and this, that, and the other, and having Russian or German people be elite organization that had the robot had people's databases in U.S. has all those people's anyway. If you put something on something, they gotta know your information. They went forward. I already posted all that shit on there, so they can go forward. No, my shit wasn't fake. I can't fake any of this information, so they can go forward and be creepy with you. And I was on a database if I had a code where you type in your fucking code to be able to fucking get into a university. So I was in a university, so they go forward and be creepy with you. And having something be like a trade school, having to back you up or show that I had blood work done, that I wasn't on anything. And sure as hell in 2008 was a graduating year and all that shit had red header letter or whatever the fuck that shit is with the barcode. So I know that shit wasn't fake, going forth being creepy with you. The guy's really fucking creepy and going forth and being really disturbed individual that tells you a bunch of shit, and then they go forth and you want to just bitch back him for having posted the information on there, but it's on a database. But I'm not a sex offender and going forth and being creepy with you, and just fucking just have to hear this guy over and over again speak about this shit going forward. He didn't know what the fuck he's talking about himself. It's just fucking creepy. Going forth being creepy with you is the right way to go about something. I didn't get anything but this a jail sentence yourself, be able to fucking tell you what you don't post and this, that, and the other. And I know I didn't ever really get undressed and do like naked videos and shit like that, and going forth and really being creepy with you like I'm never nude on live. I know I had my top off. I'm not like whipping out my junk and jerking off and shit like that. I'm going forth and like messaging a bunch of people on YouTube and telling them a bunch of creepy shit like these people do in real life, and going forward. It was really, I even cried hysterically for her seeing, like, I know she gone through some shit going forth, and they lost one of their members, the group that was with them, and had lost a bunch of people because of COVID and the shit that had hit the airwaves that fucking were inventing. They invented some kind of weird virus that just stinks everybody. And going forth and like not knowing if you ever get a flu, but I had bad hygiene on my teeth. My teeth I went out of an apartment for 4 years or whatever, 4 years ago, and broke the lease because of the way the extreme measures of going out of an apartment, not knowing if these people tamper with your shit. If you go forth and buy a thing of pop and like a 2 say if you buy a thing of Sunny Delight with the pop and going forth but not knowing if they did something to Sunny Delight, you could walk up in there and drink off of it and put it back in the fridge and not knowing where this other guy's been. Like if you go forth and ever live in an apartment, then you understand what it is to be really belligerent with a person, because they can go forth and do creepy shit and get away with it. Like you seen Maury's show back then in early 2000s. Maury had like in 2008 or 9 had people walk into an apartment building with cameras, and they would smell the person's underwear and shake the kid and do all sorts of creepy shit to all their shit, and going forth and being creepy with you, going forth and understanding. I saw that originally on Maury Probig show, and I was like, well, they show all that shit on that, and going forth and like being in an apartment building, you had to pay like $2,000 for an apartment building on top of trying to sell your house to a real estate agent and give a shit about you and telling you that you made child porn when you didn't make child porn, and they were sitting there playing with toys and shit. They weren't fit. They weren't the figures that I ever fucking played with. They're going forth and paint was never chipped off any of that shit. And I never fucking had there and sat down and fucking played. But I haven't had a doll. I haven't had a Kermit doll I bought off eBay to propose to like one video only, and I only got like 600 views for it. I go for. I don't know if you ever would make a video with him again, or I know they're supposed to see him at one point in time, but I didn't record seeing him at a store, at an Apple store when I got my Apple phone unlocked, because the asshole was like, "Oh, I know your password, but I could take your Apple device and say you stole it," and then before they do that creepy shit. So the fucking information had my email address, had all my fucking things for getting into videos so they can make content, and I don't get money for it because I don't have 1,000. If you have like 2,000 subscribers on Facebook, you get money, but it's not worth posting if you fucking just hear people telling you like they just tell you the same shit, like where do you hang out, like where you want to go, where do you got school do you go to, university, but do you fucking live alone, and they fucking tell you the same, all that shit's on there, and go forth and answer you. Like, I don't know what the fuck you want me to tell you, but I just said, yay to the Midwest is where I'm at. Like, you fuck just have people telling you the same shit I don't know how the fuck those celebrities go through. Like, they go forth and go to Comic-Con and get answers the same shit, like, what's your favorite movie, like, what's your favorite this, that, and go forth and I don't even watch it. Won't go to theaters anymore, because then people will tell you a bunch of shit back then, how to buy people snack foods and shit at theaters. Back at the Cinemark, I had bought a thing of nachos and had bought popcorn for the fucking crowd or whatever the fuck back in the day, and fucking tell you that you wanted to buy you fucking dinners and shit going forth and doing that shit for people that didn't do it back for you or did, but they tell you stupid shit and they're going forth and being creepy with you. I don't know how the fuck the celebrity people, they get worser end of the stick because they get paid so much money to be seen. And then when they go to a restaurant, they fucking do crazy shit to it. Because I know I've ate shit that probably was like Whopper. I ate a Whopper meal that didn't taste good. I know the only thing I ever ate at Burger King didn't taste as good as it is tasted like it's been tampered with. I know that everything that I post on the majority of the stuff, I would just eat chicken McNuggets. I wouldn't even want the chicken McNuggets anymore because after The Rock said to shove the chicken McNuggets up your ass, like I wouldn't even go to Burger King and buy chicken McNuggets if they're gonna do shit to them. It's not worth buying food at a restaurant. And at a restaurant, they don't pay their people enough to be able to know what the fuck the food's been fried and dumped into in the toilet and then give it to you, like the Kevin Smith where they're eating shit and fries or whatever the fuck type of shit. And that guy makes that disgusting shit. He was 5 times more overweight than I am, so I don't know how the fuck he survived. He had a heart attack. All this shit that my heart rate's always up. But I don't have a military. I don't have a mentality of having a heart attack because I know that I exercise. I know my limits of just exercising 15 minutes a day or 3 hours or whatever the fuck, and then stopping it midway through and taking a shower and repeat. And like, I'll just stop playing video games if that's the thing. I'll forfeit and just get a job somewhere and not post it up ever again. Go to another house, eventually get another house, and not explaining that. The only people that watch you tell you a bunch of creepy shit. Oh, this guy's just playing video games all day. It wasn't that. I exercise and do shit. That's why I wasn't as overweight as they are. And they're not fucking telling their little kids this is gonna be their fucking esports house. Oh, creepy fucking bastards. I don't want for it to be creepy with you. They really want my shit. I fucking had my hand turned different colors at one point in time. My hands certain colors, they don't even gonna take a Clorox wipe to my shit. So I end up getting sick of it now. They're gonna fucking try to sue our family. Off the shit I have is the way they fucking explained. I ain't gonna forfeit being creepy with you, is I fucking don't have no diseases per se, but this diabetes is reversible. If your vitamin D is low or high, mine was lower. Like I had lacked vitamin D. So I don't go outside, because when I did go outside, they tell me shit and they go forth and really being creepy with you. Not everybody will tell me shit going forward isn't that bad, but I think everybody that posts on social media will get fucking told something if they know who the fuck. They think they fucking like, oh, this guy does like video game gameplay things, and but I'm playing it on the hardest difficulty. Like I played Cyberpunk on the hardest difficulty. I played Cyberpunk on the hardest difficulty. And there was no fucking like walkthrough through this shit. I know that the Samaturo only had like 4%. I had like 50% in it, like compared to him. Like having that had Hideo in it, so I think that he didn't play that all the way through, knowing that it had Hideo in it, or fucking being spooked out. But he had the Yu-Gi-Oh card game on there, and he played through that, and only forfeit seeing what he played through. I was like, I know I have a PS5, or had a chance to buy a PS5, but I opted out because I didn't want it to be taken from me and fucking just steal your shit going forfeit. It's not worth buying a PS5 if it's gonna be discontinued, or they're gonna make another one, or those people just make consoles just to make a profit. They don't care. You can rent it. You used to rent video games for like $10 and play them for like no trophy. So if that's the case, and they go back and do that on the PlayStation Plus, you can rent for playing a video game for a month or whatever the fuck. You can play a list of games that you downloaded on there off an email that doesn't belong to anybody but the guy that's talking right now. So going forth with not saying they don't care, they should just leave it the fuck alone and not bother you. So fucking I'm not in their face about shit, and they go forth and want something from you. Good morning, and when the fuck time comes, they're gonna ask you for something. I said the other way around. That's the way it is. They won't fucking ask you a bunch of crazy shit. They won't fucking not really talking to them and tell them to go fuck themselves. So they fucking tell you a bunch of creepy shit themselves and expect you to get back to somebody that didn't like you. Isn't the way to go back. Isn't the way to go about some. Going forward, I'm not bothering anybody. They're bothering me. They're telling me a bunch of shit. They won't forward. They took the mail out of the mailbox like 2 days out of the road. Didn't get mail. I'm like, what the fuck? And then they will forth and like have the mail finally delivered, because I went out there and took it before they would go and tamper with it or go forth and do something to it. Going forth being creepy with you. I don't get hate mail or any of that shit going forth, and if they don't know exactly where I'm at, they go forth and write hate mail. But when I go to a hospital or something, like I'm supposed to go to the hospital for an appointment, that's the only catch that it was. So going forth and telling them that I already had a trial, and then they ain't gonna even be at the trial. There's no way you have like a bunch of people be out there telling you a bunch of shit. And you could sue them for say that, because I'm never in an argument with them and going forth, and then they're out there doing whatever the fuck they're doing themselves. They're looking fucking retarded themselves. The way they're going about this shit's fucking not right. That's why I don't like the social media, because you're going forth and you go out to a hospital. Oh, this guy's going crying to the hospital again. It wasn't that. Going to therapy is different from crying to a hospital. I don't even go to K Medical Center, because originally they fucking had a surrogate soundboard feed of somebody on there acting weird and shit going forth. And Dr. Stanley likes ice cream, but you didn't like his favorite ice cream he picked. We're going to jail you up for not liking the ice cream. They were saying stupid fucking shits in my ass. And going forth and being creepy with that. Dr. Stanley was fucking meth head. Going forth and he sold his house. We should have had him sued. So they all tell you bad information, and then going forth and know that each hospital had been sued, instead of the way that they had known people in the surrounding area, known people that know that this guy somehow had the doctor prescribe that shit originally to you was that Dr. Stanley. So I wasn't on any drugs, and I wasn't on anybody's like side in terms of having them tell you that you need to take Latuda, or you need to take Zoloft, or you need to take Abilify, to act like you can talk to somebody at random and have a conversation with somebody. If you're on medicine, you just want to be asleep all day and going forth. And I know I wasn't asleep all day and night, but going forth and you just go forth and get headaches and shit from taking Abilify, Latuda, Zoloft. Any of the antidepressants have side effects, and you go forth. And how these people originally write the scripts to was Dr. Stanley. So going forth and having this guy say, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." Dr. Stanley was a busy man. He fucking described everybody fuck up Latuda everybody vilify everybody's a little off. You don't want to hear him telling you about anything. He just wanted to write a script so you can go forth and get addicted to medicine and be on the street corner all hopped up on those pills and fucking just die. And I'll tell you a bunch of creepy shit, but you don't fucking listen to the shit and you run out of the hospital. Fucking they put like a missing persons thing in 2010 on me because I walked out of something and on midway through didn't know if they were gonna come pick me up or not, so I just walked out of that shit. Fucking the same guy, but just going forth, and there was no blood on the snow or any of that shit going forth. I walked through residential blocks and shit going forth. It wasn't that bad, but I lost a bunch of weight by doing that. It looked like I reversed whatever diagnosis it was originally. It was wrong with me. Everything got cured when I went walking very far and going forth, and everything was reversed by walks and shit. Before I walk around all day. Walk around for like 3 hours and not get tired, and I'm still able to do that, but I'm not fucking crazy enough to do it now because I know who the fuck I am. Walk around going forward and telling you a bunch of creepy shit as you do it, before we go to a restaurant. Oh, this guy just ate the shit we had made and it oozed out of their ass and they wash your hands and they fucking make your food. That's everywhere you go. Unless you start making your own food. That's the fucking this lady who told me that. I'm like, oh fuck, why the fuck did I even chew on the why the fuck did I even order this shit? Why the fuck did I order something that couldn't be tampered with? Or just eat the breadsticks and not breadsticks and pasta, but breadsticks and salad. I was at the Olive Garden, they tell me that. It didn't even smell like anything that was tampered with. The way they described the shit they want for telling you that everybody else eats from their fucking, like the waiting movie with fucking that freaks and geeks are waiting with Ryan Reynolds movie where the guy was discussing shit to the food items and were forced being creepy with you. It's how apparently they do that at real restaurants and shit because they see that shit in movies and those actors are fucking retarded for doing that shit, paying roles. But they pay for food items too, and they have to have people cater for, and they get catering services that are better than normal food, and they still do shit to it. Justin Bieber fucking throwing up on a stage. They won't fucking tell you that he's not disease riddled, but all the celebrity people die real easy because of the shit they do to their food. For my breath doesn't smell like anything, thank God, but I fucking just, I stopped eating I know that I ate Pizza Hut like last night and going forward, it was greasy, but it didn't taste tampered with. Like you could tell if the cheese doesn't taste like cheese, or the other thing doesn't taste like Parmesan cheese. Doesn't taste like Parmesan cheese, and you know there's a problem. I've been out here for an hour. I had enough problem telling them about like going forth and playing a golf game compared to a horror video game, like a horror video game like Resident Evil or The Quarrying or those games that have like horror elements and monsters popping out of woods and fucking going there and fucking campers and telling you a bunch of creepy shit on a video game. It's different from real life. You can turn a video game off, but you can't reset if you die in real life. You can't reset anything. You go forth and you could exercise all damn day and night and think that your leg will eventually wig out and you have to go to the hospital thinking that it was being pulled out of a house for apparently being just angry at whatever the fuck happened at that time, and then going forth in October 10th, November 27th, and December 1st had hearings, and the only catch was going to a hospital because they saw I wasn't violent. They saw I wasn't a violent individual. If I was violent, I'd be able to fucking yell and scream like I was originally hearing them tell me a bunch of shit. And then fucking on meth or something. They just saw it and then, oh yeah, whatever the fuck, I ain't gonna believe this guy. This guy went to a hospital and didn't break it, nobody's shit because I was at a hospital at that point in time. Explaining to them they're trying to do some creepy, like shit like that, going forth and like having the hospital themselves be guilty of association, have them telling you that you always come back here and write a prescription for Zoloft. And Zoloft will always be on hand, there'll always be a Zoloft pill for you. That's not the way I go about shit. And going forth and running, telling my 14-year-old self that I had taken when I was 15 years old Zoloft was fucking messed up. It messed up my health. Going forth, and I had perfect health going forth and having gray hair now that I have to cut the gray hairs out. And I stopped shaving because I'm not high maintenance. I'm not buying makeup and putting makeup on and shit. This is fucking makeup. It's because I take a high dose of medicine that makes me fucking wig out, and the medicine makes me like complected. But I was fucking not sure about the medicine itself because they always give me different medicines. So like if I go to a hospital, they're just gonna subscribe to you. God knows what it is. God knows what those pills do to you. And I fucking used to watch YouTube videos of people overdosing and seeing like montages of their life going by, and it's fucking sad. And I was never made fun of anybody like that. I was in a hospital itself, and they're all fucking all these mental, all these fucking lunatics. Not a lunatic if they're gonna jail me up and do creepy shit to you. If your parents die, they're saying that shit to you even back then, going forward with somebody else that I used to go to school with heard that guy. I knew exactly what, but then I walked past going to a gym one day and saw him sat outside and said that this guy would help me sue this guy because he saw him, heard that, tell him a bunch of shit, and did illegal shit too. Like this guy apparently had gotten kids, or had kids and didn't pay child support. And going for anybody could tell you that, and going forth and tell you that, oh, this kid doesn't belong to you, or this kid does belong to you, but they had an abortion or something going forth, or they fucking adopted the kid, or went forth and did something to you in order for it to be like corrected, or wherever the fuck everybody goes through something that not everybody can tell you the truth and going forth for not really knowing for sure. Like you go to a hospital and they do an eternity test on it, whatever the fuck, and think that this guy is stupid enough to go forth and they mailed your fucking information out to another state and had your DNA tested and know exactly who the fuck you are. At one point in time, St. Luke's did all that shit. So they knew I'm the same guy, just disease riddled or whatever the fuck now, because of COVID. I'm not rabies. I don't have rabies. We had raccoon infestation. Like raccoons were in our attic, and we had to spend $1,000 that we didn't have to get the raccoons out of the attic. And I had video footage of the shit spilling animal control. I doubt nobody's gonna take our shit if we had fucking critters in our attic. It spilled fucking whatever the fuck fluids out of their raccoon bodies and shit going forth and being disease riddled at a place going forth, and oh, they're the mob because they don't like you. They can't. Hospital can't even do anything funny. They can make you suicidal, but I'm not going to commit suicide because I don't have access. The only thing I ever overdosed on was pill. Like if you take a pill, the pill was supposed to make you feel better, and it make you feel worse if you have to spend time learning how to walk and read and shit. If a pill makes you crippled, a pill makes you deliberately fucking crippled, and that's not a good thing. Going forth and deliberately fucking being crippled off taking a pill. Like you fall down a flight of stairs, the person has to relearn how to walk. And they're not even going to be able to do everything they originally were able to fucking do when they did walk. And going forth and really being creepy with you. I even said that shit back then, wearing the graduation clothes I had my grandpa in a gymnasium back then, where I was fucking at a gymnasium with the same clothes on that I had graduation from an elementary school back then. I'm being honest here that I had the same clothes on that I was at K Medical Center and overdosed on high blood pressure medicine or diabetic medication that was expired. So my whole body reacted to that, and I had gotten, like, I was paper thin. I went from being paper thin to gaining weight, and I was like, fuck, I just ruined myself. I went forth and I became diabetic maybe a million years after that, but it fucking hit me. It still fucking had a reaction to it as my body didn't get pumped out. They never pumped out any of those pills out of my body. I always had to get like IVs, so I was dehydrated. All I would do is dehydrate my body. Like I'm dehydrated now. Like I'm always thirsty. I always have to drink shit. I don't know. There's no cure for diabetics, and everybody in the world's diabetic. Like there's 10 million people that are diabetic supposedly after COVID made people diabetic jump in terms of people being absurdly overweight and having them take diabetic medication. And if I'd rather not be on this medication, I'd rather not take insulin. Like I'm not gonna fucking take insulin. Like, oh, this guy doesn't want to do any of the stuff because it fucking makes your health worse. You going forth and you taking medicine that they just prescribe you, it'll blow up like a fucking balloon. Then when you stop taking it, you'll relapse and lose a bunch of weight. As people just take those pills for like a month, and then after the month's over, they don't think they have it, or they originally diagnosed you with wrong shit, or tell you that you just had it for no shits and giggles, and then prescribe you a bunch of creepy shit in between that. And I have to go to it's more fucking hassle to do all that shit and then forth. And I went to every appointment that they ever fucking had, other than when it snowed out. I didn't go to an appointment when it snowed out because they ain't forth and being creepy with you and not crazy. They fucking prescribe you medicine. It's on them to prescribe you the medicine. They're telling you to take this shit and it makes your health worse. And then when you go, they're like, oh, what happened? And was you fucking prescribed me the fucking Latuda or whatever the fuck type of shit? Man, blow up like a balloon. Now, Dr. Stanley's old ass fucking described me Zoloft back in 2005, and I was fucking LCAT, and you know, like going to those fucking doctors who'll fucking make a mockery out of you, and they're fucking creepy fuckers in white coats. And that hospital will take your insurance card no matter what the fuck they say, because they get liable if you fucking collapse. A hospital and pass out. They're liable if you pass out. I passed out originally. They gave me some weird pill. And when I was like 15 going into 16 in February of 2005, I think it was back then, I had took a pill. Like Zoloft was prescribed to me. I took a bunch of Zoloft pills and woke up, and then they gave me another pill and it made it worse. Like it made me pass out. I was like, there's no way they give you these pills. It's supposed to maintain a lifestyle. If you have to like not take them, and just say you took a pill and then not take any of that shit going forth, or prescribe you a bunch of shit in between that going forth, but really being creepy with you. I don't go to the fucking doctor's appointments only for like vision issues and shit going forth and really being sturdy with you. Say you have to go to these appointments or they're gonna look into it and tell you that they know that you went to an appointment if you fucking have it on your chart and going forward have it all that information on the chart. You could show all that shit as long as you fucking access it with your email. As long as nobody fucks with your email address and you have Face ID on your email, shit, so they can't go forward and be creepy with you. And they know your dick size, they can make fun of all that shit. And for all this guy knows is it isn't somebody else. If they go forward and have the same dick as you had when you was 15 years old having a colonoscopy. You had ass cancer, going forth and describing you antidepressants for whatever the fuck reasons of having that done going forth and not really explaining. You only can get 200,000 if you sue them. If you have a brain injury, you get 2 million. I understand that. I tell you all that shit on those commercials, but I don't think they really know. It's all just a bunch of creepy shit. No, for watching stuff on YouTube is better than watching a celebrity get paid for one movie more than people get in their lifetime, and they're so great they fucking can climb up a mountain and have a CGI mountain, and they fucking have like the fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger fucking commercial on State Farm of him going in a chopper with the fucking CGI fucking jungle and that going get to the chopper and going forth being creepy with those people get more money paying and doing that shit than people that work 9 to 5. That's why I don't like movies and that shit. Going forth in the movie industry, fucking don't like my ass because I sit there and don't buy all those DVDs and shit going forth and where they watching that shit anyway because it's not worth fucking paying $10 to go see a movie with these celebrity people make fun of you and shit. When we're going to Comic-Con, the Red Ranger didn't like me or whatever the fuck that the Austin Sir John or whatever the fuck Austin Sir John is going forward the Red Ranger. Knew who the fuck I was somehow. I don't know how the fuck I even explained it to him. And they went forward was like this, that, and the other. And I didn't believe any of the shit I had on there. I'm going forward, but I didn't like any of that shit anymore, and I just fucking stopped watching it. And all that shit's phony on TV anyway. I don't even believe Judge Judy until you get on Judge Judy and have to be a plaintiff or a defendant on Judge Judy. I don't believe any of that shit's real. You know, forth and tell you a bunch of creepy shit, and then Judge Judy had somebody that was a serial killer that put bodies in walls and shit, and he got like money from Judge Judy, but so it's fucked up world. They don't want all that be on Judge Judy and getting fucked over and then having them put bodies in walls and shit. I don't know, fucking go on Judge Judy and get $1 million and they don't even pay you but like up to like 2,000 or 15,000 or 20,000. You can't get fucked over if they're fucking lipping a bunch of shit to you originally and you'll fucking react to it. The normal reaction to it, if you're stable minded, is to fucking do something back to them. But where does that get you? Just a jail sentence? Does it get you? Fucking, you're not gonna be. They're not gonna roll up the news, man. This fucker flinged a fucking metallic fucking item at somebody because they were telling him a bunch of creepy shit. And I called the cops on them, and they were still telling me a bunch of creepy shit. The cop was like, "Oh, Joe Vertico is going to mind rape you. He's going to bend over, and you're going to be tied up. And you're going to hear him fart on your fucking head, and you're going to be fucking swimming in diarrhea dookie and that shit. You want to forfeit? I don't know what the fuck they do with you in interrogation rooms, but I already been interrogated, and they can't go forward and interrogate you again. That's what's creepy as shit. Man, waterboard me for what? I don't even like drinking tap water. You don't want to forfeit, tie you up and fucking just do that shit. That's those creepiest. Waterboard. You know, waterboard me. They should waterboard them. They fucking know more about that shit than I would. They won't forfeit tell you a bunch of creepy shit. They should waterboard them up. They won't forfeit tell you the most creepiest shit. They won't waterboard them. They fucking know more than I do. They don't forfeit tell you the world secrets and shit. Going forward, this one dude. This one dude with bad teeth is like Austin Powers. They fucking have a penis pup. They fucking penis puppy and they chop your dick off. Oh, what the fuck type of shit they expect? I'm not gonna get fucked in the ass because I'm all fucking disease riddled. I may look good, but I'm disease riddled. I fucking had an infection. I don't know what they didn't explain. It was COVID or what the fuck it was. They said it was an infection. I'm like, nobody's gonna fucking lay down my ass. I'll just be fucking here as a shit. I ain't like one of those fucking muff bangers that fucking eat pasta salad and pastas and items from food restaurants that probably should have ordered and probably re-guessed everything. I should have like reversed this by exercising. Even exercise doesn't help. I know that Whopper I ate gave me fucking weird vibes from it. I fucking ate a Whopper and it tastes bad. I never ate a Whopper maybe back in 2021 and it gave me influenza, like the bird flu virus of eating chicken nuggets with it or some other shit going forth. And eating any of that shit originally because it fucking gave me COVID. Or influenza is the fucking bird flu virus. Or having somebody that travels and comes back going forth is like they had the flu and I'm like, oh fuck, why the fuck did I even be around them? If I got cough, got whooping cough or whatever the fuck. I sat there and I was like, oh fuck, I didn't feel good for fucking days. I still don't feel good. That shit always fucking stays with you. You know, forfeit. My nose isn't fucking. I had like nosebleeds and shit. That was that extreme. I went to the hospital. I'm like, oh, this guy's contagious. I think he has something. No shit, Sherlock. I was fucking at a fucking apartment for 3 years. They probably tampered with the shit. No, forfeit. Don't know what the fuck's at the apartment building with you. They go up in your shit when you leave. And I left more at the apartment building than I did here at the house. I'm here at the house all the time at the apartment. I was at the apartment for like 4 years and I had to leave and do shit going forth, and I'm not leaving this house until this shit's explained to me. Like, why the fuck do they need somebody for something more, and why the fuck they think they're God or Lucifer over here? Oh, they're gonna W Tang and you gonna fucking see a house plant that cures fucking wounds or something, and going forth and thinking you're the cure because you fucking killed yourself. The medicines that fucking gave me originally, like, made my skin, like, loosen, like whatever the fuck, the skin itself kills itself. It's the medicines that you take or whatever the fuck they give you that heal you, and forth, and they fucking give you ability to go forth and have a second chance. I don't know how the fuck's possible. Going forth and had a whole scalp off and I have a scalp wound. I fucking just didn't have my teeth didn't break off originally like it did then, but I know that now that I ate food items that made me have a H1N1 or not a bird finds flu, whatever the fuck that influenza virus is made from bird flu, whatever the fuck. You just sit there and eat nasty chicken sandwiches, and I tell you they did such a chicken sandwich. I'm like, what the fuck did they do to the chicken sandwich? And forth for never eating anything, again. Like it's going forth and like saying that you have to eat something, but then the girl was like vegetarian or whatever. Like that's why I think they're better than people that like don't eat vegetarian food. I'm like going forth. I was at one point in time I would just eat like salads and shit, but back then it was different because I didn't have anything wrong with me. Until I started taking pills, you have to eat meals with the fucking pills. You have to take pills. I should have never had gotten that shit prescribed to you. Going forth and thinking these doctors would prescribe medicines. I got you in court too. They shouldn't prescribe you fucking Zoloft. Originally saying go back and always be prescribed Zoloft, and you'd always fucking have a Zoloft pill. When they fucking changed the pill, and Zoloft isn't really. I don't even think Zoloft is prescribed to people anymore after shit that's going forward. They just prescribe you pills. Hard telling if that shit's still a brand. I remember Mad TV making fun of Zoloft back then. I thought that shit was funny and cute until you fucking actually get prescribed to it. You get prescribed fucking Zoloft originally for reasons that you have to have the pill given to you at night before you go to bed or whatever the fuck your bedtime is. If you go to sleep in the morning time, it's worse than waking up. I'm up at night, but I'm not like up at like 4 in the morning, like in a car, ready to fucking prep it up and hop over a person and do all that shit. Like, wasn't like fucking a part of any of that shit going forth. And I was at a hospital. I think I was at a hospital at that point in time, get therapy sessions. I didn't even talk about any of the shit like back then that I could have probably sued them or had that looked at or whatever the fuck type of shit going forward. Prescribe you medicine, having a chart on something from back then, having therapy sessions and shit written down. I know Samuel Rogers said they bailed me out because I knew that I had an infection back then and I was going forth, but that was like maybe a couple years back and I didn't drop out anything going forth with having the stuff prior of having another prescribed medicine giving you that antidepressant medicine isn't good enough to be able to fucking take it and then get inside. You're gonna get fucked in the butt by a bunch of people that can't go forth and do that shit, or you can sue them. They tell you a bunch of creepy shit like that, and my fucking hair is gray because of it. I ain't all forth and worry about them telling you that you take a pill, they're not gonna do anything to you. They're telling you a bunch of creepy shit, and they ain't gonna forth being creepy with you, and they're gonna get a response out there. Think they're gonna waterboard you or do something creepy to you. So think you know something more than whatever the fucking it's not that personal. We won't forfeit. I tell you whatever the fuck. You can't just gag you with water and fucking waterboard you. That's what's creepy. They ain't gonna even do that shit. They won't torture you. You can't do a forfeit and do that because you can sue them if you end up ever ending like a straitjacket and they fucking put you in a wheelchair and they start beating you to death. They ain't getting so much trouble if somebody had the actual shit happen to them similar or whatever the fuck I'm thinking they're gonna do to my ass. And once I go to a doctor's appointment, they can't jail you up no matter who the fuck they know. They can't even do that because the states will get in trouble and they'll get sued. I might have had the last laugh because they have to have the courts come in and they have to 48-hour fucking mail-in address in 48 hours. If you go move someplace, like I can't say I moved my family and then have you detained. The courts itself will intervene and say this guy didn't tell him anything, but this guy's telling you a bunch of shit somehow. And before you get to sue him, just based on that alone, and explain to him that you had security for you. This guy telling you a bunch of shit with people that you didn't know, walking past, and you got to walk around with people that you didn't even go out that day and even talk to anybody that day, and going forward having people walk around, tell you this, that, and the other. You don't know who to trust. Like they're not putting it down underneath the photograph or video or whatever the fuck saying that I think we could help you and we're gonna sue them for you. But they tell you that in personal, like flesh to flesh, like live to live, to tell you that, and they go forth on the livelihood of it happening. Maybe different if they just want to be famous and just do that to them and sue David and Tina and going forth for being like they said they would get detained by my Aunt Francis really did work for the police department. So if I ever ask anybody about anything going forward, they think you're a cop. They going forward from having a cop's bum rush. It was different from shit that actually happened. Is that they fucking just grabbed me out of the house and they couldn't grab onto me and lift me up. They couldn't lift me over the shoulder and drag me into a paddy wagon. Then I had the paddy wagon called by the whoever the fuck had originally happened. They couldn't have done that because they fucking have humane ways. They going forth from like parking there and out with cones and they going forth from parking on private property and then telling you that the shit doesn't stink. They're able to fucking take all. They can't go forth and do all that shit. They get trailed up or they get interrogated themselves. And that shit going forth and being creepy with you. I spent like 9 hours at the hospital thinking the cop, once my mom left, they would fucking do something to me. That's no way to fucking live your life. You have somebody fucking be there for 9 hours at a hospital, originally in October 10th, thinking that. And it's been like a couple of months, it's been like 4 or 5 months, it's already been a year. So I'm over all that shit. No one forth and really telling you anything other than telling you whatever the fuck. If you have a job that saves you, you fucking job people that fucking tell you that this guy works for a living, this, that, and then you just go to a hospital, they're just going to prescribe you medicines. And you have to go talk to a therapist. The therapist is going to fucking wash your ass and whole person it for you, like where they fucking take the time to put clothes on you and baby you and shit. Not unless they, I don't know what else to fucking think. They're not going to fucking wipe your ass for you if you go blind. Nobody's going to wipe your ass for you if you go blind. That's you're going to be fucking blind without taking showers and shit's going to be worse than anything. I sit there and play a video game thinking that I'm not going to go blind, but the more energy I use on that, I could have used on like going to a mall and walking around asking people for advice or thinking that one of them thinks that you're God or whatever the fuck, or I don't know what the fuck to think. Or God wouldn't have the ability to shit and piss, so going forth and God would be able to float around like Psycho Mantis or whatever the fuck. I saw some weird shit via the camera feed at one point in time, but it had red beady eyes and a beak. It had like dark clothes on, like camouflage clothes on. It looked like it was a gymnast. It looked like a gymnastics fucking just playing a prank on you. Like I know Erica Kirsch dressed up as like Darth Vader back then in 2010, but I didn't take a photo stamp copy of any of this shit. She could have been a gymnast, dressed up in gymnast clothes, did gymnast shit. They go forth and hopping ability to hop over something and go forth really fucking fast to the point where they're fucking hopping and gyrating and shit. That's the only explanation of whatever the fuck I saw, but it was probably a ghost or something, or it's like a spoof. They're fucking had their tronic ability to fucking go through all that, like Alice on Resident Evil or whatever the fuck. Erica Kirsch was about the only person that could. I remember watching a video of her like going through a gymnast fucking stage and hopping over shit, hopping really fast, like a kitty cat with a fucking toy, like how it hops and gyrates and shit, going forth from being that agile and that shit is what the fuck that shit was. Whatever the fuck it was on the hospital feed is weird. No, I didn't go to the hospital for it in the first place. If I saw that shit, I'd be spooked out. Nah, my fat ass can walk forever, but I'm not gonna like get waterboarded because you saw some weird FBI fucking just comes knocking at your door, asking because you saw some creepy shit via the camera feed, son. Do you know any gymnasts that can hop in over the vent and fucking disappear and flash her titties out so fast that you fucking think it's somebody else that died that was a gymnast? But I don't know. Saw some weird creepy shit like that coloring game going forward from being creepy with you. And the way to go about it is going forward be friendly with you. We'll get more information out of me being friendly than fucking not being friendly. Waterboard, man. What the fuck they gonna find out? They gonna fart on them. Gonna fart real loud so it smells real bad. And my teeth are bad, like the way they're down. They imagine maybe like I'm not even gonna be around 15 years later. They don't find a way to kill my ass. So I saw some creepy shit via the hospital feed. The only way to describe it is a gymnast be able to fucking do that shit. Gymnasts can fucking hop and skip and leap and do all sorts of gymnastic shit. I'm more open-minded not to get waterboarded and it's just like Domino where they give you a fucking lap dance with Karen Knightley, but that shit's not gonna happen either. So I don't know what the fuck to think. You know, for from watching angry video game nerd until you get fucking COVID, and then you can't even get the COVID money because they fucking call it influenza. Influenza is like the bird flu. The guy that sing that jingle, they don't even sing the jingle anymore. He's more older than what it goes by now. He has like a tattoo on his arm and doesn't want to be associated with that. If he has to hear people telling he's a pedophile and all that shit too, going forward and being creepy with you, anybody can call anybody a pedophile. But on YouTube, you're more likely to be called a pedophile because the shit you watch on there is like you watch some underage person play like Minecraft and they're gonna call you a pedophile, but it's okay to go to a park and film everybody and going forth. But I didn't film anybody at a park, but it was a park during a time where there wasn't nobody around. You know, our forth being creepy with you. We went out of a park filming a bunch of people, so I don't even like parks. You know, I used to walk around thinking that somebody would help my ass, and they would just tell me some crazy shit. I saw some crazy shit, and I got out of the crazy shit, and I ain't gonna afford to be any more loonier than the medicine they mail out to you. You gonna afford to take that medicine, and this makes you fucking more susceptible of having to be more vulnerable, of having them tell you a bunch of shit, and they write you away and tell you a bunch of shit. They can't go forth and do that. They didn't even do that to somebody that was rich that we knew, somebody that had money that was wheelchair bound. That they didn't even take his money away from him and act like he was irrational or whatever the fuck and have him stripped of all that shit because he could sue the government. They didn't even do that shit to them. If they didn't do that shit to them, they ain't gonna do that shit to my ass. You know, fork them, just buy a wheelchair and have somebody wheel my ass up in there, say I'm handicapped, if that's the case. So at this point, I fucking got bum rushed. You know, think it fucking, anything you ever injure, you know, oh, this guy had a boo-boo, this fucking doesn't feel good. And all celebrity people go through that shit. They want to form with seeing flow ride or exercise on a bike with seeing that Alex Salaburo or whatever the fuck her name is. I'm surprised they didn't do anything towards her because she says crazy shit. I don't understand that catch and release is about Obama or on a fucking plane and she's able to fucking afford a plane on a music video. Normally people can't even do that, but she knows people. And before we go on a private plane without a fucking passport, you can go and do whatever the fuck she's able to fucking do that. The only person I knew besides gymnast people that I once needed them for and tell you that they can go float up in the air for like 5 seconds and then float out without ability to having weird funny shit on it, you know, for it to be creepy. Yeah, gymnasts can fucking do that shit. You can hop, leap, skip, and fucking go up fucking goddamn mattress fucking curtains like magicians and that shit. This is not, if I'm going forward and play a video game all day, I'm not fucking outside murdering people, so I can't go forward. Even back then I played video games, so get your facts straight. And another thing, I'm not playing with video games all day. Well, I'm streaming for the most part. I'm streaming on the weekend when there's people here, so I want to be bumped over the head and take my shit and go forth. I haven't locked the damn screen door, so somebody walks past and says some incompetent shit saying, oh, this guy thinks he's slick, and they go forth and be waterboarded by the FBI because they don't want to fuck type of shit they want to know about you. I wouldn't even know where the fuck that guy would have been at 4 in the fucking morning. It's creepy. Nobody would have nobody is at 4 in the morning if they're fucking at random sign. They're gonna get out of state or far from this fucking state. This is creepy. Oh, fucking creepy. Danielle Garcia knows Erica Kears too, so good luck trying to convince her thinking that I wouldn't know where the fuck a guy would have been at 4 in the fucking morning with GPS trackers and shit like the pest or whatever the fuck, where they fucking know exactly where this guy was at back in the 90s. Movie was made and the science behind it wasn't even created yet. Or the shit behind having somebody like Fat Bastard off the Mike Myers movie, Austin Powers had tracking abilities that didn't happen exist back in the 90s. That shit didn't exist until recently, before we have advanced technology back then. But there had been all sorts of things that occur where they fucking have UFOs now that crash land and shit. And before they didn't have any of that shit happen, because I don't know what the difference is now and everything's surveyed. They waterboard me. I'm gonna just fart all fucking day when they waterboard me. I'm gonna fucking smell all sorts of shit. They'll fart on my iPhone and get a pink eye from it. Before, if I had I know I had the case on it back then, but I had the case off of it originally. His phone fell in the dishwater. Like, I had the dishwater, and I had washed my hands, and the phone just like floated up in the air, and it hit the dishwater. So like when I had didn't know that the ability to charge it on a cable doesn't work, but I can charge it via the back of it. So the phone only is gonna last like 15 minutes. Eventually, it'll be on 15-minute lifespan. 15-minute lifespan because it fell in the water dish. And it'll last 5 minutes, and it'll go fucking off, and ain't nobody will get anything. It'll just be a fucking dormant phone device.